not that ye should be ignorant, how that all our fathers were under the cloud, and all passed through the sea, and were all baptized unto Moses in the cloud and in the sea, and did all eat the same spiritual meat, and did all drink the same spiritual drink, for they drank of that spiritual rock that followed them, and the rock was Hamashiach. But with many of them the Most High was not well pleased, for they were overthrown in the wilderness. Now these things were our examples, to the intent we should not lust after evil things, as they also lusted. Neither be ye idolaters, as were some of them.
Worshipping other gods. Go ahead.
As it is written, the people sat down to eat and drink, and rose up to play.
What's that talking about? It's talking about Exodus, when Moses went up on the mountain 40 days and 40 nights to get the law, statutes, and commandments. When he came back down, they had made 2 golden calves and they were worshiping. The Aaron said, "These be the gods which brought you up out of Egypt." All right, go ahead.
Neither let us commit fornication, as some of them committed, and fell in one day 320,000. Neither let us tempt.
Fornication. What was fornication?
Adultery. Spiritual adultery.
They were taking adultery, having sex with other men's wives, taking wives of the other nations and being perverted away from the Most High by those daughters was also fornication. All right, go ahead.
Neither let us tempt Hamashiach, as one of them also tempted, and were destroyed of serpents. Neither murmur ye, as some of them also murmured. And
what is a temptation? Oh, the Lord ain't gonna do shit. Moses, you ain't shit. You know what I mean? They were saying things like that. Oh, the Lord brought us out here just to die. Thou is tempting the Lord for what? Like, all right, that's what you think about me? Well, guess what? You're gonna die. Go ahead.
And were destroyed of the destroyer. Now all these things happen unto them for ensembles, and they are written for our admonition.
No, admonition.
Admonition.
It means warning.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Upon whom the ends of the world are come. Wherefore let him that thinketh he standeth take heed lest he fall. There hath no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. But the Most High is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it.
So that's something that you got to believe. That if you're doing this work, no matter what you go through, you're going through it because the Lord knows that you can go through it. The Lord's not going to put you in a situation that's going to destroy you. Even if it's something unto death, even if you're going to be put to death, the Lord's not going to put you in a situation to die knowing that you're going to bug out. The Lord's not going to put you in a situation where you're either going to take the chip or you're going to be killed in some gruesome way, knowing that you're not going to be able to handle that death. If the Lord puts you in a situation like that, it's because He's going to give you the power to be able to make it through that situation. All right, you have to believe that, and that what's going to happen is you're going to be tempted by that fear. You might maybe an Edomite will be grabbing a chainsaw in your fucking face, you know, or a saw blade. Telling you he's going to cut you from the inside. He's going to carve you up real nice, right? He's going to carve you up real fucking good. That fear of that may bug you up, but you got to go into it with the mind that, hey man, if this is going to happen to me, it's because I'm able to take it. It's because I'm able to bear that thing. Because what happened? Jump from there. Go to Hebrews. Go to Hebrews 11 at the bottom. Because it said Yahushua endured the cross because he knew that there was going to be a reward for it. Start at the 30. You can go all the way down.
is Hebrews 11:30. By faith, the walls of Jericho fell down after they were encompassed about 7 days. By faith,
Yeah, because by faith, because the Lord said, "Come past these walls," because the city was walled. It was walled up high. It was a fortress, and the Lord said, "Come pass about it, run around it 7 times, and then the 7th time shout." And just by yelling at the fucking walls, they crumbled. So that was by faith. They believed that if they did what the Lord said that they would do, just by yelling at it, the city would fall. All right, go ahead.
By faith, the harlot Rahab perished not with them.
Because she knew that the Lord had given that land into their hand. So she made a deal with them and said, "Look, I know that you're about to conquer this place. So I'm going to hide." They were spying out the land. And those nations were after me, so I'll hide you. But you got to promise me that you ain't going to kill me and my family. And they made a deal with Rahab. All right, go ahead.
That believed not when she had received the spies with peace. And what shall I more say? For the time would fail me to tell Gideon and of Barak and of Samson and of Jephthah.
He said, like, all these examples of faith, I don't even got time to write all that. All right, go ahead.
Of David also and Samuel and of the prophets, who through faith subdued kingdoms, wrought righteousness, obtained promises, stopped the mouths of lions, quenched the violence of fire, escaped the edge of the sword, out of weakness were made strong, waxed valiant in fight, turned to flight the
Out
army.
of weakness were made strong. Out of fucking all odds against it, were made strong. I turned to flight to valiant. I mean, when Joshua and Caleb came back and they gave that report, they said that the people of the land is good, is going to take that land. And you had these other assholes that gave that evil report and said, "No, but the people are too great for us. The cities are walled up high and they're strong." All right? So Israel didn't fight. Okay? He said, look at the people of the children of Anak. They were giants. We were as grasshoppers in this stuff. But when, after the 40 years after that generation had died, Israel went in and conquered all those people that they were scared of. Right? Because they had faith. Like Joshua and Caleb had faith. He said, the Lord is with us. He's going to go, he's going to fuck these people up for us, man. All right?
And that's how you spiritually know that Ephraim and Judah are like the head tribes, bro, because that was Ephraim and Judah.
All right, go ahead.
And turned to flight the armies of the aliens. Women received their dead raised to life again, and others were tortured, not accepting deliverance, that they might obtain a better resurrection, and others had trial of cruel mockings and scourgings, yea, moreover, of bonds and imprisonment. They were stoned, they were sawn asunder,
Were sawn in half. Go ahead.
were tempted, were slain with the sword. They wandered about in sheepskins and goatskins, being destitute, afflicted, tormented, of whom the world was not worthy. They wandered in deserts and in mountains.
Why was the world not worthy of it? Because their faith was so strong in the Lord that they actually took those beatings, man. You have people that willingly got sawn in half, meaning meaning you think, so they rounded up a bunch of jakes, and they had them all in the same place, and one by one they're setting them up and sawing in half in front of each other. They said, "Fuck it."
This is 2 Maccabees chapter 7, verse 14. So when he was ready to die, he said thus, "It is good being put to death by men to look for hope from Yahweh, Hashem Yahushua, to be raised up again by him. As for thee, thou shalt have no resurrection to life."
Yep. So that's why. Or Yahushua say, where he said that the Lord endured the cross for the joy that was set before him, because he knew that the Lord was going to resurrect him on the third day. He told everybody that. Destroy this temple, and I will rebuild it on the third day. I'll resurrect it on the third day. And they thought he was talking about the actual temple, which the temple was destroyed. It got rent in half when he died. Now, see, it's all spiritual. Now you see the rebuilding of the temple happening today. But it's not a physical temple. Esau's doing that to prove that he's the actual Jews. He's trying to build a third fucking temple.
Third temple is talking about his body, which is the brothers in the camps.
Yeah, that's what it's talking about. But Esau is doing that on the left hand. He's over there in Jerusalem trying to construct that physical third temple in an effort to fulfill prophecy, which is just being the devil. But this is the actual building of the temple, because where life is from, they were building the stone. There's a stone in the temple.
These are very edifying.
Yeah, that's a good camp.
Edifying.
Well, this is the truth. This is what we're fighting for. You know what I mean? You know, the way we talked about pulling down strongholds. Christianity is a all these different religions, all these different philosophies. You know, the so-called Jew rats over there. That's a stronghold. And it's built upon lies. And we're just out here ripping it all to shreds. And we're going to keep doing it until Esau gets bad enough, gets scared enough to come down with having great wrath. Because there's going to be a point when the Lord is going to force Esau to make his way. Because he knows he has a short time.
That's right.
Go ahead.
This is Ephesians chapter. It's lucky, not Ephesians. This is Galatians chapter 6, verse 9. It says, "And let us not be weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not."
Yeah, if you don't give up. Well, it says don't be weary in well-doing. Don't get tired of doing this. And like Apostle Tar would say, you know, it's repetitive. We bring out the same things, but at the same time, it's not, because there's deeper knowledge. There's a lot to it.
It's never the same. The same scripts are being pulled, but it's never the same. It's always different.
The same scriptures, more meaningful, profound understanding to it.
Well, like the avenues, it always goes to different places, different story, using the same scriptures, but it's always different.
Yeah. It's like
to me, it's never the same.
never-ending story.
Yeah, it's never the same.
There's always different ways to break things down. There's always different ways to build a picture, put things together.
To edify.
Because
if it's always the same, you're going to stay your ass home eventually.
There's always new examples.
You will eventually say, that's the same thing.
The scriptures stay the same. But the picture just becomes more and more clear.
Yeah, like you know the picture already, but later on you'll be reading it and it'll just hit you like deeper understanding of it. You'll be like, oh man, you can feel it. It just becomes deeper.
It comes deeper through experience. While your experiences the certain scriptures, and it just brings them out even more. Like, oh, I'll go through that. Oh, okay, yeah. So on and so forth.
That's why the scriptures say that a man that never traveled it, you don't have no experience. And we travel by meditating on the scriptures, seeing the vision of what's to come.
It's like that.
We're teleporters, man. We're time travelers.
It grew up fast. We're like old men in young bodies.
Oh, we live many lives.
It's like that. It's like Dave Chappelle when he says every old Jake is a practicing lawyer. It's like you be talking about something, some old Jake come out of nowhere, gray hair. No, don't do that. That's 5'10". The same way. The same way. I don't do that. Lord, forgive you. It says in the scriptures, the Lord has mercy on whom He will. I mean, you could do one thing, and then do something another day, and you just get judged for it.
Yeah, but like King David, we always talk about that. Lord have mercy on him. But somebody else do some stuff, half the things that King David did, Lord, say, nigga, you're not King David.
Well, look at King David and Saul as a perfect example. Saul disobeyed the Lord. King David committed adultery. He killed Uriah. There's a major offense. But so the elect are going to be saved. The elect are going to be saved. That's why it says to be diligent to make a call and election sure. We're trying to fight to be a part of that number. So it's like maligning yourself up with the characteristics of the elect in the hopes that that's who you are. And you're just like, well, I'm doing what the elect are going to be doing. So your expectation is to be saved. But you gotta keep fighting. You gotta fight all the way through. Because, as it tells you in Ezekiel, if the righteous man does wickedness, all of his righteousness will be forgotten. It's cold, but you know what I mean? It's like you could have did great works and then you bug out. None of those works matter.
So ultimate wickedness, ultimate unrighteousness is denouncing Yahweh Shem Shine going back into the world. That's when you're through. You start going in the names, stop believing in this truth. That's when you're done. You can't come back from that.
Start going into other philosophies,
other gods, deities,
other perverting the doctrine, twisting the doctrine around.
Remember the niggas SRS with the scuba? They haven't been out in 3 months, and dude, right when he starts their little sit down, he's like, "I know we haven't been out there in a while. Wait, we've been out there." So look at the they haven't been out 3 months, perverting the doctrine, speaking of things that they shouldn't teach.
Well, I don't even know what they teach. I don't know what they're saying.
Other blowouts, there's a lot of things that they taught that was off. They broke away. Or after they got kicked out, he got kicked out.
Well, that's what happens. I mean,
if you're not sincere, you get kicked out, you find envy, strife.
You start being wicked. That's when you get rejected. I mean, there's brothers that have been kicked out and then brought back in. But you gotta be consistent. The Lord's looking for consistency. He's not looking for you to be talking about the mark of the beast and chip one day, and the next day, the mark of the beast is philosophy. The earth is flat. We're in the cell earth, whatever. The Lord bless you. Find these. Lord bless you. And you remember he would sing at the beginning. He would salute the He had like that hypnosis playing in the background. It's just crazy. But not everybody that calls upon the name of the Lord is going to make it. It says he that doeth the will of the Heavenly Father. So you got to be on point. You got to have the doctrine. You got to be on point. You got to be on point, and you got to defend the gospel against anybody, whoever wants to come. Even if it was somebody like you knew in the truth, you were close to, and then they bug out, come against you. You have to combat that. You have to fight against them. Lord willing, it's an edifying camp. We're going to give all praise, honor, and glory
To Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Baruch HaKodash.
All right, double honors to our elders and our apostles, the great millstones who well taught us the truth. Continue to preach and do righteousness on the highways and byways, even in their old age. You know, shalom, peace, love, and blessing to all the hopefully elect scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, pushing the word and truth and in sincerity, all the brothers and sisters. All right, have faith and believe in this truth and support the Ak. All right, shalom.